Let the truth talk to 'em. Let the truth talk to 'em. Let the truth talk to 'em. Talk. Let the truth talk to 'em. Let the truth talk to 'em. Let the truth talk to 'em. Talk. Let the truth talk to 'em. Let the truth talk to 'em. Let the truth talk to 'em. Talk.
It's all real. We wouldn't be talking to you about it if it wasn't real. You know what I'm saying? But like we said, we're gonna go through like all these things and run them down. But first, I want to read a few things. From a few articles that I researched from the JW.org website, as well as some other places I got some information from, and just doing a historical background check on the whole zodiac and the astrology thing. I learned from it. It says that various forms of the zodiac can be traced to the earliest known civilizations. Even the Bible mentions the constellation of the zodiac. Evidently, the zodiac was consulted in ancient times by Hindus as well as by the Chinese, Egyptians, the Greeks, and other peoples. However, the earliest reference to the signs of the zodiac were found in ancient Babylon. Excuse me. The Babylonians discovered astrology in an effort to obtain information about the future. As celestial movements were noted, elaborate charts and tables were made. From these, human affairs and terrestrial events were predicted. In many cases, political or military decisions were not made until astrologers were called in to give their advice. Hence, a priestly class claiming to have special wisdom and supernatural powers came to have great influence. In fact, all the great temples in Babylon were equipped with a celestial observatory.
Wow.
So it's crazy how much, if you think back, it's crazy if you think back to how much stuff.
I was looking at that same thing what you're talking about too, with the Mayans and all that kind of thing. That's once again, that's the enemy knows how to prey on man's uncertainty about things. Even before you go to war, they're gonna look for these oracles or things of that kind of nature, things that have nothing to do with God, just so they can feel assurance before they go into battle. I'm not saying I wouldn't want to know that I'm gonna come out of a battle all right. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't ask God about those things, I don't, and it's a slippery way that how they done these things, man, with these signs of zodiac thing, them 12 zodiac signs, and that we have actually for birthdays. I don't even know how that got attached onto us at all. I'm an Aries, but I don't, what I'm saying, they want to define as an Aries to be all like all other Aries or whatever it is. Like we got our group, or you're Gemini, you know what I'm saying? You want to make it like you got traits that's just in that culture thing. I trip off of that.
Yeah, definitely. Then it says, in modern times, signs of the zodiac continue to play an important role in the lives of many people. Even those who do not claim to believe in the horoscopes may actually consult it simply for entertainment or just out of curiosity. It is true that astrologers have made some predictions that have come true, but does this mean that consulting the stars is beneficial? How did ancient people view the whole astrology thing? So first and foremost, if you know the history of the city of Babylon that's talked about in the scriptures and ancient times, then you know all about this city as being labeled filthy, unclean, and just a place that didn't have God's approval. Bottom line.
Yeah, Vegas on steroids.
Yeah, it said it was something detestable. You know what I'm saying? So anything that originates and comes from that spot, if it, you know what I'm saying, it's like, what happened to that spot, that place.
It's just
you know what I'm saying? He saw it fit to bring an end to that place right then and there. When he saw the levels of evils that resided there, he was like, this place got to go right now.
Even look at like the horoscopes, what you said, to bring it back to that part. A lot of people that, that's kind of like the entry level of things, so it's just fun. Let me get my horoscope read, because you still want to peek into things, even down to a fortune cookie. When I was a kid, I used to look at them like that, like it was for real. But I stopped even when I get my Chinese food, I don't even look at that thing no more like that, because anything that could suck you into trying to peek into the future. I mean, look at even Adam and Eve. The promise that started with them was for be like, once you eat this, you'll have knowledge, of this way and that way. You'll be able to tell what's good or evil or whichever way. Some things men don't need to know. I don't need to know my tomorrow, because if I know my tomorrow, then that puts me in the place of God. What you think, Faith?
Bro, that's definitely true. And back then, you know, back in those times, like people that were considered to be Christians, they didn't play around with things related to the occult.
Forbidden.
You know what I'm saying? Because of the warnings that God gave. He gave flat out warnings, like when he said, there should not be found in you anyone who employs divination, a practicer of magic, or anyone who looks for omens or a sorcerer, or one who binds others with spells, or anyone who consults a spirit medium or a professional foreteller of events, or anyone who inquires of the dead.
Yeah.
So for everybody doing these things, it's something detestable.
And
we had y'all look up that word detestable before to see what it meant. It's nothing good. You know what I'm saying? So if this is how he feels about it.
For those that have done it, like we saying, it ain't too late to, you know, I've done things that people have put my coattail to, hey, man, this ain't the thing to be doing. Okay, you can repent and turn around from those ways. So it's never not a time to do that. But what I'm saying is, don't get attached to these things. Let your future play itself out. God know your future. Once you start poking around with things and spirits that you got no business to, that alters your entire life. You know what I'm saying? Not just your life, but your children. Sometimes you don't even know what kind of things you're bringing inside your own house. And you're wondering why it's a lot of chaos going on inside your house, inside the four walls of your house.
Yeah,
and it's
exactly.
like, what have I brought inside my house like that? You know, by what you're watching. Even you was telling me about all a lot of the cartoons and a lot of the shows for the children.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's how they're rushing it in more and more, bombarding us with these things. And like we said, it's so normal. Just like everything we see now that used to be, everybody used to like look at and like, oh wow. It's now like it's not oh wow. It's not oh wow no more.
Right.
It's oh that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. It ain't like, oh no, you know what I'm saying? Like it ain't like how people used to do back in the day. And like this is something we all have to like step back and look at, you know, because like you just said, like we're not pointing fingers at nobody, because I consider what I'm gonna tell y'all later on, I'm gonna talk about my own experiences and experiencing, you know, these things, and like how we got into the music business and they tried to use us for that certain thing, you know what I'm saying? But reading further along in the same article, it says, interestingly, in the Christian Greek scriptures, we read of a girl who used to furnish her masters with much gain by practicing the art of prediction. Apparently, some of the things this girl foretold came true, since the masters profited from her powers. But what was behind the girl's ability to predict future events? It says the Bible states that she was under the influence of a spirit, a demon of divination.
Yep.
That's what she was under. Also, the Bible tells us that the whole world is lying in the power of the wicked one, Satan the devil. So by maneuvering events to make certain predictions come true, Satan and his demons, you know, they've captured the attention of millions of people.
Yeah.
Just by being able to do that.
Yep. Oh, that's that incident.
When people, again, like we told y'all on our show, like about, you know, like about death. When people go to people and they talk to these palm readers and they ask to speak to their dead loved ones, you know, their dead relatives that passed away or their friends. If they produce something like that to you, just know that you're not talking to your relatives. You're talking to demons that's playing games with you, that have the ability to imitate exactly how your dead relatives sound.
Yeah.
They can do that. You know what I'm saying? That's why the devil was so successful at misleading people.
Yeah. Preying on weakness, preying on you wanting to see your people.
Because those type of things work. God wouldn't tell us to stay away from it if he wasn't worried about it working. If it didn't work, he wouldn't tell us, make sure you stay away from this. It's dangerous. He'd be like, okay, just go on about your day.
Right.
But he tells us over and over again, stay away from this stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's no good for you.
Let the truth talk to him. Let the truth talk to him. Let the truth talk to him. Talk. Let the truth talk to him. Let the truth talk to him. Let the truth talk to him. Talk. Let the truth talk to him. Let the truth talk to him. Let the truth talk to him. Talk.